once a month we come on and try to do a Wealth Wednesday.
Sure, Wealth Wednesday. I like that. Jason Chlup is the investment advisor for Lions Overseas Management, or LOM, as we love to call them, that beautiful, iconic building on the corner down there of Reed and Burnaby. Good to have you here, Jason. And here we are in a brand new year. New years mean new opportunities, right?
Thanks for having me. And Happy New Year, Shelly. And to the listeners out there, hopefully 2024 is a great year ahead.
Sure. I hope so, for sure.
Did you set any New Year's resolutions or anything like that? Maybe some financial ones?
Actually, financially, I'm in the best place I've been in a year, because I've sort of been gainfully employed for an entire year. I was a bit of a gig economy worker before that, so I'm in a much better place right now. As far as my savings go. So that's all I can offer, though, is I have been better at my savings, my friend. We've got lots of things to talk about.
Yeah, that's good to hear. That's good to hear, because anybody who has done any financial resolutions for 2024, well done and good luck. Stay the course. And anybody who hasn't started yet, it's not too late.
It's not too late. And Jason's here to tell us about some great ways we can get started. For sure. I think I saw that the markets are in pretty good shape for getting into the first quarter.
Yes, pretty good. We started off on the up.
Sure.
If you have a look at the S&P for the first portion of this year, it's reached all-time highs.
I did see that.
End of last week, as well as it's continued through this week. But again, that's mainly due to what we refer to as the Magnificent Seven, or majority of the Magnificent Seven. They've kicked in again in this year. So that's created the up on the market. Firms have started to report for their fourth quarter from last year. It's still early days to say. There's been a few good results, but it just gives us some optimistic views for 2024, and
good stuff.
We're looking forward to some good opportunities in the market.
Yeah, and so what do we want our listeners to know specifically about how the market is behaving right now, and what the wisest things are to do with your investment dollars? Well, look,
we're always going to speak around diversification.
Sure.
So make sure you try and position yourself where you're able to take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves, as well as be sometimes a bit defensive for when there are dips in the market and things like that. But that also creates opportunity, especially to get in. So a lot of people will now say, oh, okay, but if the market's up, should I wait?
Yes, because you can't buy low. Well, you can, I guess, if you're smart about it.
You can, but again, we always speak about time in the market and not trying to time the market.
Exactly.
So again, if you're waiting for that dip and you're trying to time the market, you're going to miss out on other opportunities.
Sure.
So a better strategy would be to, over time, keep making your contributions, get in over the period of time, look at your 3 to 5 year plan, look at the long-term view.
Gotcha.
And that's the best way forward. Block out the noise in the market and stay the course.
Okay. And as far as your firm and your colleagues, how are things looking for your performance from last year?
Well, for 2023, we had a good year. The firm did significantly well in terms of increasing our client base.
Sure, more folks investing then.
Correct.
That's awesome.
Some new accounts, as well as increasing our assets under management and that's with new clients as well as existing clients that we're looking to take opportunities in the market and increase or add to their investments and create more wealth for themselves. So, look, it's important to remember the long-term view when you analyze performance, especially when looking at a specific year. But it is nice to reflect on a year that was good for the firm. And with our strong performance, our asset management team had us positioned very well in a lot of our funds, not too defensive, and they took the opportunities that presented themselves. So, we've always got to commend them on that. This helped us outperform our competitors in key areas and in some comparable funds. If you're looking at some specific performance for 2023, on, for example, our LOM money market fund, which is a very conservative approach that performed at about 4.2% for the year for 2023. If you're looking at sort of a more aggressive fund or a higher risk fund, not aggressive, but more aggressive, our equity growth fund, that sort of got large equity exposure to your large cap blue chip stocks, that did just shy of 21% to 20.8% for the period of 2023. But again, just that's just a specific year's performance. It is good results, and we're proud of that, and that's why I'm speaking about it. But, we are always looking at the long-term view. So, you got to plan for that 3 to 5 years. And these good years, you build on them. And when there's dips like there was in 2022, that's when you need to be patient and
just leave your money there and work through it, right? Now, when you say your US dollar money markets came in at 4.2%, that means those who invested got that much of an increase back, or got that percentage back on what they invested?
Fees. That's
after the fees. Yes, of course. You guys got to get paid like the rest of us.
Yes, unfortunately, there are costs involved.
There always are, yeah.
But that's how firms make their money. But so the 4.2% is what a client, if they invested for the full period of 2023 in that particular money market fund. So the fund did start off at around 3.5% at the beginning of the year.
So it made
finished off quite strong. And that's if you're looking at like a 30-day performance, and finished off quite strong at around 4.8%, 4.7%.
Gotcha.
And again, that's after fees. So, that came to the year's performance of 4.2%.
For sure. Now, fees are charged annually or quarterly?
Annually.
Annually. Okay. Well, that's a good thing. You get it all out of the way one time. Now, here we are, as we said, in 2024. Not so bad start to a year, like you said, with the S&P being the highest it ever was. What is the outlook with LOM for 2024?
Well, with what we believe is our strong strategy, hopefully some continued performance on the 2023, not being too overly aggressive, but still being well positioned to take advantage of the opportunities. There's always opportunities that are going to pop out. Just got to be ready to take advantage of those. And that's the benefit about having a firm such as ourselves that do the active management of your funds. Taking advantage, looking at the markets, analyzing, doing the necessary to make sure that we're repositioning and positioning ourselves in a good place. If you're looking, or further to that, we'll obviously keep trying to increase our reach and our client base, and that's just getting out there, doing this kind of thing that I'm doing on the radio with yourself, and
getting people to know that their money can make money for them. I think that's what you're trying to convince folk, right? To come on board,
getting out there and starting their wealth journey. And again, that's something that I push for, is trying to create financial awareness. Again, that's why we're here once a month. We're trying to talk to the listeners, make them understand that there are options out there for everyone. And yes, once we can show that we've got this premium offering, we want our potential clients as well as our clients to take the opportunities that present themselves and help you grow your wealth.
Yeah. So if you were someone's wealth manager within your firm, do you have them come in for meetings? Do you have like quarterly discussions on what the market is like and what you're looking at, where you might move their money, where you might take their money from? Is that the type of thing that happens with people? I know, communicating to the layperson exactly how financial markets work. I mean, there's a lot of math involved sometimes, but you have a good way of making it easy to understand, and that's what you want to encourage people to not. Well, I don't know how to talk about that stuff, so I'm not going to go there. But the fact that you guys have, advisors that help people if they want to invest, they've got $50,000 and they want to put that in and they want that to grow and grow and grow. They need to come and get on board with, is that someone like yourself or your other colleagues that are the actual financial advisors?
So that's with myself.
Got you.
Like prospective clients. what I would do is set up a meeting. We set up a consultation, which is absolutely no obligations. It's about getting out there and reaching out to us, seeing how we can help you, showing the options that are out there. So those initial discussions are more for prospective clients. For existing clients, or once somebody becomes a client,
Sure.
you know, we look at least having a catch up or a discussion or portfolio performance discussions
Sure.
for quarterly.
Quarterly, you do
So
that. Okay.
that's what I like to do. Even if it's just to touch base, check if everything's all right with our clients, and,
Sure.
and that's the premium offering that we provide.
Sure.
By making sure we're close to our clients, creating a long-term relationship that people are comfortable with the professional relationship that we have, that they understand that, you know, the better our clients do is a better reflection on us.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
that creates better word of mouth, which creates more
Sure.
referrals for our firm.
Hopefully,
and
yeah.
that's how we grow.
For sure.
You know, so if we're doing the right thing and clients can see that, then they are appreciative of that.
Yeah, and I think that's great why you come in and talk about this, Jason, because I'm sure there are folks out there that are just like, you know, I'm going to have a savings account and make, a little fraction of percentages on the money that's in there. And at least I know I can see it every day. I know where it is. I know what it's doing. It's not going anywhere. But when it comes to investing and to have a company like LOM do it for you, you're kind of going to get, like you said, you know, understanding the upticks and the dips in the market, that you're definitely going to increase, you know, the money you've put in there. There's no, you guys do have a fiduciary responsibility to do the best that you can for these people's money, and that's the only reason you're licensed to do what you do. So people needn't worry about somebody squirreling away funds or anything like that. The legalities are so taken care of with this, that people can be rest assured, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Rest assured that your money will be managed to the best of anyone's ability, and you're definitely going to to make a return on your investment. Pretty much, you can be safe, and have small returns, or you can understand the risks of higher returns on it. Now, you did mention fees. So are those fees a set thing that people will know every quarter or every year? I'm going to have this fee, or is it depending on how their money has earned or not?
So
those fees.
So our fees are set,
okay.
But remember it's different across different parts of different investments.
Got
so
you.
Within a
Different
portfolio
fees.
with us, you could have different funds. So each fund's slightly different according to what its focus is on.
I see.
You know, some funds have need more focus and take a lot of time. You know,
manpower.
And correct. So therefore the fees may be a little bit higher.
Sure.
But on other fees or other funds, the fees are a little bit lower. So it's that would come in the discussion where we sit down with you and explain this is what we are very clear and open around our fees. So there's nothing like that. And again, what you were leaning on there was with us. Doing everything in good faith.
Sure.
That's what the BMA monitors.
Sure.
So,
yeah, we have amazing infrastructure here.
That's why
for
financial
money.
Institutions have to be registered with that.
Sure.
And we publish our funds, so that also creates transparency
and
accountability to show that what we're doing with our clients' funds is we're doing what we actually say we're doing.
Sure. Yeah. I think having you come in, I'm sure hopefully people have come in and said, yes, I heard you talking on the radio and I've decided to come in. I hope that happens, that you get that on the street, or someone will say, oh, I heard you talking on the radio. That's what we want for you guys, and we want folks to contact LOM and talk about anything they want to talk about, like Jason and I have been talking just now. It's a conversation. And the way they should do that, the website is LOM.com. They do have a main switchboard line at 2925000, so 2925000. Ask for Jason. That's the easiest part. Call up and ask for Jason. Right?
Great. Our website there, you can just use the contact us function.
Sure.
It's very simple and easy.
Sure.
You can even just mention radio, mention Jason.
Yeah, they'll know.
I will contact you and get back to you as soon as I can, and see if we can set up a consultation or a meeting just to discuss
Sure.
things, see your offerings, see what's out there, see the possibilities, and see how we can get you started.
And just so you know, there's no cost and no obligations with these consultations, folks. Come and have the conversation, and you just never know. This is, like Jason said, the start of your journey to wealth management. And, there's all this talk about society and culture and generational wealth. This is how you start it, folks. This is what you do. And you work hard, and you talk to Jason, and he helps you do that. So we want to thank Jason Chlup, Investment Advisor, for LOM, for coming in, like he always does, once a month, comes on in for Wealth Wednesdays, and we hope everyone's heard what they need to hear. Jason, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you
Appreciate
for having me,
you.
Shirley.
Cheers, my friend.
Thank you. Have a great day further.
Website, don't forget, LOM.com, or give them a call at 292-5000 and ask for Jason.